What's up, guys? Thanks for being here today. Got my tea. Today we are talking about image licensing. Welcome to my channel. We talk about commercial photography here. We talk about travel, adventure. We're going to talk about gear in some upcoming videos. But today, definitely more on the commercial side of things. Got the glasses on, ready to educate you about image licensing. What is it? How do you come up with a value or a price for an interested brand or client? Where do those numbers come from? And some of the tools that you can use when coming up with a price for a certain image that a brand might want to license from you. So let's get right into it. What is image licensing? One of the biggest disclaimers that I need to spell out for this video is that this is a very nuanced topic. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. It's not a perfect science. I think you're on this fine line of trying to understand what is your client's budget to license the image, how will the image be used, what are you comfortable with in terms of releasing the image for, and coming up with a number that's fair for both you and the client that you're working with. So image licensing is essentially when a brand, let's call it an outdoor brand for the sake of this video, approaches you to license an image of a North Face jacket that you captured of someone in the Himalayas. So North Face approaches you, they want to license that image, and you need to come up with that price, or you need to understand what goes into coming up with that dollar value. There's a few ways to try to suss out and understand what the brand's budget is, but I'm going to break down and show you some tools that you can use in this video. I'm going to put a PowerPoint over here on my side. I've taught a few courses at a community college about this subject, so we can follow along in that PowerPoint. But essentially, some of the first few things that are most important to understand is how will the image be used. And the reason why it's important to understand that is we're going to take the information that we gather in these questions that you'll ask your client and plug them into this AOP calculator to my side here, which is basically an image licensing calculator. It's not a perfect science. This one was actually developed by the AOP. I think it was created in the UK because the value that it spits out in the end is either in euros or pounds. So keep that in mind if you are using this tool to convert your number to USD. But it's a great tool and a great way to give you some type of baseline. I think another important thing to understand here is if the brand or the client was to go on a stock website and just pick any old image that, for example, if they went onto Getty Images stock and selected an image there, the price for a high resolution download, I think unrestricted, unlimited usage duration, is starting at $499 USD. So that's an important thing to keep in mind as you navigate these questions with your client. Maybe you heard me just say unlimited, unrestricted, but that leads us to some of the important questions that we need to ask in order to come up with a dollar value. So when looking at this AOP calculator, you're going to see a value at the top that says set BUR, and basically what this is trying to calculate and come up with your day rate. That is the day rate maybe that you charge to clients or outdoor brands to run a commercial photo shoot. Perhaps this image is already in your image library and you're ready to release it, so you didn't necessarily go run an entire shoot to capture this image, but it's sitting on your database and it's ready to go, ready for you to use. So the first thing you need to use this AOP calculator is to set the BUR, which is essentially the day rate that you've come up with. I know here in Denver, the day rate can fluctuate anywhere from $1,000 a day to $2,000 to $5,000. Some people may charge $10,000 a day to run a shoot. So figuring out what resources that you put in to capture this image in the Himalayas, what did the travel cost to get there, what number are you comfortable with, in terms of day rate to help the brand or client understand how you come up with this image licensing fee. So for our example here, we're going to put $1,000 into the BUR, and then this leads into the next values on this image licensing calculator: the duration of time, the media, and the territory as to where your image will be used. So if you click through to time period, is the image going to be used for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years? And this also leads to my next question that you must ask your client. Are they looking to buy the copyright from you in perpetuity, or do they just want to use your image for a set period of time? If you are releasing the copyright altogether, be very careful in these instances. That is essentially you granting them the ability to do whatever they want with the image. They could print it on posters, packaging. They could basically use the image on unlimited media if they want. So this would drive the dollar value of your image way higher. You need to come up with a number that's comfortable for you there. I can't tell you what that is. I can tell you that I have licensed a series of 10 images to an outdoor brand for around $8,000. So I did not release the full copyright to them, and then because every year the duration of their image license goes up, I reach back out to them to refresh the image license. So you're going to ask these questions to the client. What is the time period of use behind the image? And then what is the media? If you click on this next drop down on the AOP calculator, will the image be used for print? Will the image be used for packaging, billboards, posters, social media? Is it going to be bannered on their website? Is it going to be an ad across the entire internet? That kind of thing. That is where you start to look at how will the image be used. And then down to the bottom category here is set the territory. Is the image going to be used worldwide? It will be used for worldwide distribution. Will it be used in the United States? Where and how will the image be used? Once again, these are all important questions to ask so you have the right information, the right values to plug into this AOP calculator to spit out a value in the end. So once we have that number, I will convert that to USD, and I might do just like a quick voiceover at the end, a screen recording of typing all these numbers in and showing you exactly what each category means here on this AOP usage calculator. But once you've come up with this agreed upon rate, the client says yes, you're ready to move forward with licensing them this image. Congrats, go you. It's, for some people, it's a big deal. A lot of us just have hard drives full of work that isn't necessarily being used. So this is a way to tap into another income stream. If you think you have images that are marketable to a tourism board, a brand, a liquor company, what have you, once you have that agreed upon rate, you're going to then draw up an image licensing agreement. In that agreement, you will list, okay, North Face is going to use my jacket image from the Himalayas for 2 years. The price we agreed upon, let's call it, the AOP say it spit out $2,000. The price they agreed upon goes in that image licensing agreement. You both sign the agreement, send them the image after you collect your payment, and then they're able to use that for marketing purposes. It's just really important that you put all of this in an agreement. I'm going to put a document down below that you guys are free to use and access, but make sure that you thoroughly read my document. Maybe you know a lawyer, or you have a friend or family member that's a lawyer. Maybe have them take a look at this. I am not liable at all for the terms and agreements here. This is a template that I've developed, and it has worked for me and my use cases. So a big disclaimer there is be careful how you use it. Make sure you read it first before just plugging values in and sending it to your client before reading it thoroughly. Okay, so once we send the agreement, sign it, send your image off, you're off to the races. You've just licensed an image to a big brand. This is huge. I'm stoked for you. If you have any additional questions or comments about this process, be sure to drop them in the comments section below. I also offer one-on-one coaching. If you're curious to learn more about this nuanced topic, I'd be happy to sit with you and talk more about it. I think it's really important to use the tools that are out there, like the AOP calculator I showed you at a different part of the video. Understanding what that Getty gallery image baseline is, that $4.99 USD price, and then using all these different pieces to help you come up with a number that is both within their budget and fits for the work that you put in. This will help fuel future adventures for you, future landscape shoots, future trip to the Himalayas to continue capturing adventure images like the one you just licensed. So I hope you found this information in this video helpful and useful, insightful. If you have questions, comments, drop them below. I'd love to help you guys out further, and I can cover more of your questions in a future video. Thanks for being here today. I hope you learned something, and stay tuned. We'll be covering lots more this year in regards to commercial photography gear. I'll be doing some slideshow videos on the adventures that I've gone on recently, and stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next one. All right, so I just wanted to finish this video with going through the AOP usage calculator, which I have up on my screen here. So I'm just going to quickly run through that on the screen recording here and just explain the different components one more time so you have a little more clarity when you're looking directly at this. So just a reminder, the BUR is the day rate, so we're going to stick 1,000 in there. I think that's a little low, but for the sake of this example, we will just kind of keep some of these numbers a little simpler. So go ahead and put 1,000 up top there. We will set the duration to 1 year. Go ahead and put 1 year in there. And then for media, let's choose a few different things here. So say they want to use your image on the company website, they want to use it on the internet, mobile, social media, and then there is one at the bottom here that says all digital media. So in the questions that you ask your client, be sure to figure out where they will be using the image. There's also a checkbox there for all media if they wanted to use it across all media. That it seems like that includes print. There's a special drop down here for print only. We're just going to stick to digital now because that seems a little bit more common in the image licensing space. So I have company website, internet, mobile, social media selected. Let's go down to territory. Let's say this is just a United States brand, so we're going to uncheck worldwide and just do USA only. And then there's a bunch of different company groupings there. So up at the top here, let's see, now we're going to go to, that tells you the definition of BUR. So right here it says view results. This is the approximate price that you would charge for that image. I believe that is in pounds. So quickly we're going to do a conversion of 4,400 pounds to USD. And right here is going to spit out your USD amount. So in my opinion, this is a little high for this image licensing agreement. But once again, it depends on the brand you're dealing with and the bandwidth that they have to pay for imaging. Some brands could very easily pay this much for one image because of the rise of user-generated content and just the amount of content that's out there in the digital space. I think this is a little inflated. So you might have to navigate that question of what is their budget, what are they willing to spend on this image, and maybe some of these media options would change and reduce that price. But this is just a simple example of how you can use this BUR in the AOP calculator to come up with a rate for your image, and then converting that to USD will help you know what dollar value to put in front of that client. If you have any questions about how to use the calculator or something doesn't look right to you, feel free to drop those questions down below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And just to recap, important questions to ask: the licensing period, the media options that they have, like where will the image be used in terms of, is it digital only, will it be printed on packaging, billboards, what have you. Set the territory, and these are all really important questions to ask during the process with your client, as well as trying to understand their budget. But this gives you a very clear understanding of what things go into coming up with that dollar amount for the image that you're trying to license to said brand. So I hope this little screen grab was helpful for you and gave you a little bit more insight on how the AOP image calculator works. If you have any additional questions, feel free to drop them below this video and I'll answer them. Thanks for tuning in today, and more content coming soon. We'll see you in the next one.